Floppy Donkey Sausage Cheers says, does it help if your true fans turn off ad blocker? It just helps if everyone has ad blocker off. I mean, obviously on YouTube, any money to be made on YouTube is made via ads, you know? I'd much rather be here live on stream every day sharing fun gameplay experiences with you guys rather than focusing on a toxic piece of shit website. Yes, Jordie says, prior to the Rage-a-thon, you mentioned that it would be unlikely for you to jump back into games like Street Fighter V and Scarface. What changed? A couple things. Number one, we're in a situation where there's really nothing going on for the rest of the summer besides maybe 1 or 2 releases, and I need something to get this channel attention before we get to the big new games that undoubtedly will bring people in. I can't just have a slow or dead channel for multiple weeks, especially when I'm not barely making any money on YouTube. So I needed to do something to get people back. That's number one. Number two, after replaying these games during the Rage-a-thon, I kind of softened up a little bit and realized they weren't so bad, you know. Street Fighter V I don't like, but it's not the worst game ever. So that's what I mean, like, it ended up being better than I'd expected. And you know what? I'll be honest with you guys. A major part of that may be, like I said, things are different now. I'm not as stressed as I used to be. I'm not being in a negative mindset anymore. So I was much more open-minded going into these again and ended up, you know, doing good versus being completely negative and nasty about them and not giving them a chance. So I think that's kind of what happened. Momo Goon cheers says, pick it up, Groove. Thank you for the cheer. Size Vice cheered again and said, any chance of you playing Overwatch again? They have some new characters and updates since you last played. I mean, probably not. I'm not, let me put it this way. Again, I'll be open-minded. I'm not going to completely rule it out and say never, but the chances of me getting back into that after such an extended period of time, excuse me.
Well done.
Oh my God, excuse me. Oh, excuse me. Oh my God, excuse me. You know, it's an extended period of time where I haven't played the game. I don't even know the new characters. I know for a fact the game has a ton of maps, because the other day Kat was playing and I was watching her play with the new character, the hamster, whatever his name is, Wrecking Ball, I guess. And I was like, she's on 3 different maps and I had never seen them. I was like, what is this? Like, oh my God, you know, I wouldn't know if I started playing this again, I wouldn't know the first thing about what to do, because I don't even know the maps anymore. So I'm not saying Overwatch is a bad game. I'm just saying it's a game that I played the hell out of when it was new, and I actually played it until a point where people really weren't interested in it anymore, and that's when I stopped playing it. And I don't know if going back to it at any point would be something people would want to see. Okay. Number two, it's not allergies that make me do things with my nose or whatever. It's actually post-nasal drip, which is a chronic condition that you cannot fix. I was doing everything right. And even though I could do things, like if I have a bad day, I could take a decongestant, it'll help a little. It doesn't cure the problem, and it's very temporary, too. So, even though you recommend, I understand maybe you hear me like that, going like that, or every once in a while trying to clear my throat or snorting or whatever, and I know it's gross. It's because I have a medical condition that cannot be cured, and I've tried many different things to help over the year. Remember, 10 years I've been making videos, guys. I've tried different things, various things. Nothing works. So instead of dumping a ton of money into buying, you know, Flonase for $20 for a bottle, I basically just tough through it. And I know it sucks, but it is what it is. There we go. Okay, he says, you gave your viewers and fans the exact amount you were making from ads on KO Gaming, but when it comes to DSP Gaming, it's vague fractions and percentages. Why? It's very simple. I did nothing wrong. It's because people micromanage everything I say. They data dig into it to try to figure out things like how much money does Phil make and shit, which it has no impact on anything. That's 100% a lie. I could make $1 million and I could make $10, but when I tell you things like, oh, I'm tight on money because I'm in a ton of debt and, you know, I'm stuck with a fucking house in Connecticut that's under, you know, has no equity at all, and, you know, all these things are happening that are terrible that are affecting my income, that's the truth. It doesn't even matter how much money I make. It's a completely worthless number, because the fact is that what I make immediately goes out to bills. What the hell is this in my cart? Oh my God, it's still in my cart. I had ordered it, but I put it in my cart again because someone. I was basically the person who donated the money to buy the TV. I wanted to send them the stats, so I added it back into my cart. I gotta delete it. I don't want to accidentally order it again. Okay. Yeah, it's the TCL 4 series, 49-inch. Every month I'm bringing in a certain amount of money, and then immediately it goes out and pays the bills, and then I don't have money again. See what I mean? I had to pay my bills. I had to stay afloat.
All of my bills are coming due for the month. They all basically come due the first week or two of every month. And it's very hectic and very tight unless I have a really good month. I'll be honest with you guys, it's been pretty slow.
I need that money to pay my bills. That's the situation. But people will, if I said, I make this much a day on DSP Gaming, they would get their fucking ratios out. So he makes this much a month on YouTube, this month a month on Twitch, this month on Patreon. He probably makes this much on on Teespring, and we suspect that he's got other revenue streams he doesn't tell us about, like partnerships and things behind the scenes. So we estimate that Phil makes $70,000 a month. You know, some ludicrous number. Which doesn't even matter. Even if I did make $70,000 a month, which by the way I never have, that's insanity. I never. That's crazy. That's you know, ginormous YouTuber numbers. It doesn't matter. Because the bottom line is all the money I make immediately goes out. There's no net profit, and that's the problem with me right now. Okay. So there you go. But no, I'm not going to give you all the specifics of everything. Okay. Oh my God. Third Eye the Third typed a giant paragraph, which I asked people not to do. No.
Liquid Fear says, Phil can't read a 2 cent donation. No, it's that I'm trying to play a game while I read a giant message while other people are also doing so while I'm reading the stream chat. It's kind of hard to micromanage all that.
All right, guys, hold on a second here. I got to read this giant paragraph to see what he said, and then I got to determine if I'm going to read it or not, okay? But I'm not really getting a consensus. And people are like, increase the length of your streams. Like, are you nuts? I already stream so much. I'm so worn out. I can't stream longer than I do already. My voice is all hoarse and everything. I can't possibly start streaming longer. All right, so basically what Third Eye the Third said is, if YouTube revenue really is so bad, do you think that if people disable ad block that it will help? Or do you think that things such as if I became a full-time streamer and I used automated elements, like for example, an automated cheer board, tips board, text-to-speech, so when people cheer or tip, it says something automatically on my stream verbally, do you think that would help? No. 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 And the bottom line is I can't do that stuff. Because if I did automated stuff, I'd be banned from Twitch probably immediately. Because people... What? People troll. People would immediately start using names. Like, I'll give you an example. Right now, someone cheered with a racist name. And if that was automated and got up on my stream, I could be held accountable by Twitch. If I had text-to-speech, undoubtedly people would be trying to find ways around filters and stuff. And basically trying to say racist stuff. Okay? So there's no way. I can't do it. I could never use automated means, period. That's why everything is manual here. It has to be. And you just have to accept that, all right? The streamers you're probably watching are people who don't get trolled as much as me. It's a different situation. I've never been in that situation, okay? I would love it. I would love it if I could just have positive viewers every day. And sadly, we get a big troll element here, and I just got to deal with it, okay? With a few little missteps here or there this year, I think that I've actually very much been able to stick up to my word about this one, to stay out of negativity whenever it was possible and reasonable. Not just pick fights and start fights with certain groups, with certain people, to focus only on the negative. Oh no, if a certain playthrough isn't doing great views-wise, don't harp about it for weeks on end. Instead, just focus on, okay, let's get through it and go to the next. And well, we had some, like I said, wow, we had some racist cheers. Thank God again. Imagine if I had automated and you guys would have, would have seen that stuff. So thank God I don't. Ripley Atomic cheers says, it's not like subbing to Patreon is asking too much. $1 could go a long way. Would that be true? Yeah, I mean, people don't realize that, again, I've said this many times. The people who are the most successful with crowdfunded things, it's not because one or two people stepped up and gave a ton of money. It's because they have a wide viewer base or a wide fan base and everyone gives a little. If I had thousands of people pledging to my Patreon $1 a month, it would be amazing. It would actually turn things around completely for me. And how many people can afford $1 a month? A lot, Even at the times of my life when I was at my poorest, I could probably still afford $1 a month to ensure that someone who I watch free content on a daily basis still is able to make that content, right? That's really what Patreon is about. Crowdfunding and having everyone work together for a successful end goal, right? So yeah, even if you guys, I can't afford to sub to Phil's channel and I can't do anything, but can you do $1 a month? Then go sub to Patreon. That helps.
Phil stole money from his patrons because he never made Project 7.
I never said $1 a day on Patreon. I said $1 a month, so fuck you.
These are great games that people could nominate. So hint, hint, you might want to pledge and get in on that. Just saying.
Your pledges help me to keep this going, help me to do this full-time as a job. They help defray the cost of the business.
So there is a lot of positivity going on behind the scenes. The problem is all the work that I put into this entity, it's not a business. It's because it's not. I don't own a business. I don't legally own a business anywhere. The Patreon support is key. I'm not joking. This isn't like me saying, I need money. No. This is something that I've needed for the past year and a half to keep doing this. I'm not joking about it. No, the whole point of Patreon is that I can keep doing this as a job. Like, even if you don't like the goal, I would think that if you support me and you like what I do, you're still gonna pledge so that way I can keep fucking paying my bills.
Well informed about music and tell everyone.
Looking for something special? I got what you need. Thanks for the money, sucker.